If you're someone who is preparing for your SQL interview and want to know about the questions which are asked a lot of many times into the interviews, especially if you are preparing for a company which is into the fintech domain, friends, you have landed into the right video. So in this video I'll be talking about a very important concept which is asked a lot of many times into the interviews for data analytics, data scientists, data engineers, business analytics, wherever SQL is used nowadays into whichever roles. So friends, the concepts which I'll be talking about is onto the moving average, also known as the rolling means or the rolling average. So the points which I'll be talking into this video will be: number 1, what is the moving average concept; number 2, where it is applied; number 3, do we actually need this particular moving average; number 4, the very last, will be seeing the SQL query to write or to calculate the moving average on a particular data set. So friends, let us quickly start this video. So I'll be bringing a lot of many different videos on different SQL concepts, interview questions, the real case scenarios questions. So do like this video into huge numbers and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't. So coming to the video, the number 1 point, what is the moving average? So whenever we are doing the data analysis task, we try to determine certain patterns, certain trends in our data, and whenever the data or certain metric is varying on a certain period of interval of time, we would try to analyze or try to find certain trends into our data set. So friends, moving average is a certain factor which helps us to determine a certain trend or pattern into our data set. Now how do we use this? Main idea, why do we need to use the moving average thing into our data set? Many times we need not to look into the single entry or the single row which we are having into our data set. We want to know how our data set as a whole is performing, how are these numbers they're performing over a certain interval of time, rather than looking into the individual entry which we are having into each of these rows. How do we go on to calculate the moving average? So to calculate the moving average, the concept is very much simple. So let's say I want to calculate the 3-day moving average, 7-day moving average. So because this is a time series technique which we are using, so we'll be using days, months, years. We'll be calculating the moving average onto this particular time frame thing. So let's say I want to calculate the 3-day moving average. So the formula to calculate the 3-day moving average would be something like, into one of our column would be the date column, and into the next column, let's say there would be any quantity. So I would try to explain into much more detail with an example also. So let us see an example. So I have this Excel sheet ready with me. To calculate the 3-day moving average, so we'll be taking into account the current row and 2 rows preceding the current row. So in this case for 28 May we are having no rows above that, so I will just be copying the same formula here. Okay, the same thing has been copied. I will clear out the contents from coming to the next row. So I have 1 row above that, so I'll be calculating the average onto both the rows. So I've got the average. Coming to the next row, I have the current row and 2 rows preceding the current row. So I have in total 3-day values. So this would account into the 3-day moving average. So let us see the formula onto how to calculate the 3-day moving average. So I would just select the 3 values. So and I would drag this formula to the very last, because similarly for all the other values the range would have been selected. So if I would click onto this particular value, you can see the range which has been selected. So this is how we calculate the 3-day moving average. Similarly, how do we calculate the 7-day moving average? 7 would be much more, so I would take 5 here, let's say, and I would just copy the same thing here, clear out the contents. And to calculate for the next row, so we have only 2 entries here, so I would calculate for this. For the very next row we are having just 3 entries, so I will calculate for this also. And similarly we would be doing for the next rows as well. So until and unless we are getting 5 entries, so we'll be calculating the averages onto the individual entries whatever we are having above those rows. So here you can see I've got finally 5 entries here, 5 days entries. So I would calculate or hit enter, and from this on I would be dragging my formula to calculate the moving average. So if I'll click onto any cell, you can see the range is selected the current row and 4 rows above the current row. So that is the 5-day moving average for this particular date for the sales on to this particular day. So this is a time frame and this is a certain unit on which we are calculating the moving average thing. So this is used a lot of many times, and its real application is actually into the sales data also, or whenever we are forecasting the COVID data, let's say, but it is used into much more practical way, and we'll be seeing this into much more details also into the stock market. So for this I'll be getting the stock market data for a certain stock. So let us go to this particular website, which is finance.yahoo.com. I would just collect the data for a certain stock. For this video I have taken the Tata Steel stock for this. So you would just need to go to this particular website. You would write here Tata Steel and you will need to go to this historical data tab. Here you will see this download button, and then you will be able to download this particular data set here. So I have the data set. I have downloaded this data set from before itself. I have into my column A, I have the date column and all these prices open, high, low. I just want to take one of the price. I will delete all the other columns. I don't require them. Now let us see, I will be making a graph here. Let us see how does this graph looks like. So you can see I have made this graph. Into the x-axis I have the date, into the y-axis I have the closing price values, and this is onto a interval of 1 year of time. If I'll zoom this graph, you can see certain peaks or certain sharp peaks or the sharp dips which are available into the graph. You can see, so these are known as the noise into our data, and this is very much kind of, it hampers our data set whenever we are doing analysis on a certain period or interval of time. So whenever we want to know how a certain metric is performing on a certain period of interval of time, these noises will hamper our analysis. So for this purpose only we need to use the moving average concept here. So this is the real application of moving average. So whenever we are learning anything, we should also know what is the real application of that particular concept into the real life and how we are using it. Because into interviews a lot of many times we are asked this, because simply knowing the formula, simply knowing the syntax of a particular thing, that does not help. Knowing the real application helps. So if you will be telling this particular thing into the interviews, the interviewer might get impressed. So friends, let us see how to apply the 3-day moving average, and let us see how to remove these noises from the data. So you can see so much of sharp dips and sharp peaks which are available into our data set here, and we need to remove this because these are noise and this will hamper our analysis if we are doing further. So let us calculate the 3-day moving average here. So into the next row I'll be calculating the 3-day moving average. I would just delete this particular graph from here. Is this 3-day moving average? I would write the formula for this. So this I would just copy this row here. I would calculate the average onto these 2 rows, and you can see I've got the current row I've got and 2 rows above this. So the 3-day moving average can be calculated from all the rows which are below this. So I would just copy the formula into all these others, and then I would apply the keyboard shortcut. I would do a simple Control D, and you can see the 3-day moving average has been calculated. Let us try to make the same graph again, and that will help us to make a good amount of comparison and whatever the concept I am trying to teach here. So friends, you can see I would zoom this a bit. Orange graph is for the 3-day moving average, the blue is for the closing price of the graph. If I would zoom this a bit and I would take the same peaks and the same dips, and you can see here was the dip here. You can see the graph has little bit smoothen here because of the moving average thing. Let us take a sharp one and a very sharp one. So you can see this particular dip here, sharp dip. You can see the graph has been smoothened a bit. So this is known as smoothing technique using the moving average. And moving average smoothens the graph, whatever we are trying to display here, whatever noises which are present into our data set here, because the stock might perform a very good at a certain day and the stock might perform a very bad at a certain day, and this would help us to smoothen the graph over a certain period of interval of time. It helps us to smoothen all the noise points which are available here. I would try to demonstrate the same thing using the 7-day moving average. So if we are applying the 7-day moving average, the graph graph would look much more smoothen, or the sharp peaks or the sharp dips which are available into the graph, they would try to smoothen a much more. Let's calculate the 7-day moving average here. Let us see how to calculate this. So I would just write here 7-day moving average, and using the same concept which we have seen into the previous thing, I would be calculating the 7-day moving average here. So I would just do a simple average until and unless I'm getting 7 rows for me into my data range for calculating the average, and from then I would just copy the formula to the very last cell. So I would just do this for the other rows as well. Since I have got the 7 rows, now I can simply hit enter and drag this formula to the very last. I hope this thing will clear your concept much more on why do we use moving average thing into the real life application, and what is the real life application of these analytical functions which we study a lot into the SQL. So I will be making a graph here, and I would try to show the comparison onto the 3 prices which are present here. So into the first column you can see the closing price, into the column C you can see the 3-day moving average price, into the column D we have the 7-day moving average price. You can see the legends here. So these are known as the legends, by which we try to distinguish all the unique columns which are present here. So the gray is the 7-day moving average, the orange is the 3-day moving average, and the blue is the closing price of the graph. I would try to zoom this bit into the sharp dip which was there into my closing price of the graph, and you can see if we are doing the 7-day moving average, the blue one was the closing price, the orange one was the 3-day, and the gray is for the 7-day. And if I'll zoom this a more bit, you can see how much the graph has been smoothened from the dip, and the noises which were present into our data set has been removed. We will be able to analyze our data set over a certain period of interval of time, not rather looking at a single entity or a single entry. If we look just at the single entry, let's say if I would try to analyze the stock price data for a period of interval of 1 year, so trying to look at the graph which covers the individual day prices won't help us as much as looking into the moving average graph, because at some day the stock price might dip a lot more or might rise a lot more. So using the moving average we are able to see the real trend which is happening into our data set. Now tell me, Ashutosh, you are showing us everything, how we are calculating the moving average, how we are removing the noise by doing the smoothing of the graph, but what is the actual application? So friends, these are used by actual traders. I'm not a stock market expert, but this particular thing is used a lot of many times by the traders. It is believed that whenever the stock price of a company is above the moving average graph, so it is the right time to sell that particular stock price, and whenever the stock price of any company is below the moving average of the stock, then it is the correct time to buy the stock. So friends, these are kind of the signals which the traders they get a lot of many times that can help to execute their trades much more efficiently. The whole intention of doing these kind of detailed discussion with you was just to give an overview on all the concepts which we'll be learning. The query which we'll be seeing, query is also very much important, but knowing like what is the concept, the real application of these concepts into the real life, that part is also important, because if you'll be telling these kind of information into the interviews, the interviewer will be very much impressed. It's coming to the last part of this video, and let us see how to write the SQL query to calculate the moving average. So we just saw how to calculate the moving average into the Excel. The main focus of this video was to learn analytical functions which are present in SQL, the window functions which are present in SQL. So let us quickly move to my SQL server, and I have imported the Excel sheet from before. So if you want to know the complete process on how do we import our Excel sheet data into my SQL server, you can check out this video which is popping out right now onto your screen. And also I made some portfolio project onto the SQL which you can add onto your resume as well. Let us see what is the data looking like. First of all, so I would click onto this new query. I would do a simple select star from share. So I've named my database as share, so you can see whatever databases are present into my system here. So you can see I made this database share, and inside this I put the sheet here. So this is the dbo. I will just write here dbo and go dot, and the sheet one is the sheet name which you can see here. And I would just do simple control A and execute the code, and you can see I've got the entire data set which was present into my Excel sheet. Not concerned with the entire data set, I just want the two rows, which is the date column and the closing price column. So I would just get all these columns from here. I would execute the code, and you can see I've got the both the columns here. Now let us see the formula on how to calculate the moving average thing. So to calculate the moving average, so I would just write here average and the column and which I want to calculate the average, so that is the closing price. Here I would write here over order by date. So here onto the Excel sheet we had it order from before, so that is what we need to first of all order everything through date. We want to calculate the average onto the current row date and just the row which is preceding the current row date. We want to calculate it for the 3-day moving average or the 7-day moving average. So that is why we first of all need to order by our data set into the order by date. We are telling first of all order the entire data set by the date column, and then after this we were calculating the average thing here. So for example, if I would take any cell, you can see the range which we have provided B11 to B13. So this was for the 3-day moving average. So you can see the current row and 2 rows above that. So this was the range which we have provided. I would just show for another one also. So you can see the current row and the 2 rows above that. And similarly, when we were calculating the same thing for the 7-day moving average, so you can see the range which we had provided, the current row and the 6 rows above that, accumulating to 7 rows in total. So we need to provide the same thing into our SQL query. So we are doing the same thing in Excel and SQL also. For that will be the syntax is something like rows between two preceding. So we'll be calculating first of all 3-day moving average and current row. So from this you might have understood that we are taking the current row and 2 rows above that particular row, and this would end as 3. Okay, great. Let us see. Let us run this particular query to change the column name, and you can see I've got this particular answer here. And you can see if I'll try to match both of these 3-day moving average, whatever result which we have got in Excel, it is kind of exactly the same whatever which we are getting here. So friends, this was the syntax to calculate the moving average, 3-day moving average. Similarly, we can calculate the 10-day moving average, 30-day moving average, whatever we want to calculate. The syntax remains the same to calculate the 7-day moving average. So I would just need to provide here 6 was the current row and 6 rows above the current row that would accumulate for 7-day moving average, and here I would change the name of the column to 7-day moving average. So friends, I would run the code, execute the code, and you can see I've got the 7-day moving average. So friends, this is a very important concept into the SQL, comes into the analytical functions. I'll be bringing much more different videos into much more detail, why we are using these functions, why we are learning these functions, what is the real application of these functions which we are learning. So friends, that might help you to crack all of your interviews. So friends, I hope you had found this video very much informational and useful, and if you had found this video very much helpful, do like this video into huge numbers and support me, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Meet you in the next video. Thank you so much. Till then, take care. Bye.